Hello everyone, my name is Dennis. I want to share with you a story about my sister, more precisely about what she did to feed us. At first, it would seem absurd to you, but then you will realize that it isn't so. Let's just watch and listen. I was born into a wealthy family. My parents used to have excellent positions. They both worked and were the best workers in their agencies. My dad worked as an architect and my mom as a pastry chef. Everyone at work adored and appreciated them, which is probably why they were paid more so that they would not be lured away by competitors. When I was born, they already had a daughter, Eve, my older sister. Eve is 6 years older than me. To be honest, we didn't get along very well. She lived in her own world, and I lived in mine. We had separate rooms in the house and almost never saw each other. We went to the same school with her, and I saw how both girls and boys ran after her in crowds to become friends because her reputation then extended to them. And the boys wanted to have the status of Eve's boyfriend. Yes, she is very beautiful. She knows how to dress. She has a great taste in music. Eve is the head of the school committee. She simply loves to command everyone. Well, I was more down to earth, more like my mother, modest, intelligent, hardworking, and I was a dreamer. It would probably be better if Eve and I switched characters, but no. She was born bitch, and I was, according to my mom, the sweetest angel. Our parents, as I said, provided us very well. We had everything and even more. Eve and I have never known hunger. We were extremely lucky. Unlike our parents, believe it or not, they both started from scratch. When they got married, all they had was a small set of cheap dishes in my mom's book with grandma's recipes. But through perseverance and crazy desire to get rich, they achieved everything we have today. And as they say, the higher you take off, the more painful it is to fall down. And now I am not talking about my parents, but about us. No, children who do not know what falling means. On December 20th, 5 days before Christmas, our parents were invited by their friends to go skiing in the mountains. My dad loved winter outdoor activities. But that year, for some reason, I wanted to be at home, and my sister too. Dad couldn't miss the opportunity to go, so he and Mom left without us. Nobody could have thought that this would be our last meeting with them. We got a call the next day, and they told us about their death. They said it was an accident. I won't tell you what was going on with us because I don't really remember. Everything is as if it was in a fog. Sometimes I felt like all this did not happen, as if someone pranked us and our parents would actually be back soon. And only after the funeral, when we saw them, my heart sank. After the funeral, my sister and I now had to find out what it was like living on our own. We weren't even taught how to spend money, let alone pay bills, buy groceries, and of course, how to make money. At first, I did not even think about where we were going to get money from. People brought us money for the funeral. I thought it was a lot at first and that there would be enough, but I did not take into account much of the expenses. In short, my life has not changed much because my sister told me to go to school, do my homework. She sometimes helped me with it. She went to meetings at school and did not study much herself, but the teachers helped her and did not expel her. Eve still maintained her popularity and even through her temper cooled down a little. Her essence remained the same. About a month later, Eve came into my room with disturbing news. She told me that she would save money because we were running out quickly. And then I asked, what do we do if we run out of it altogether? Then my sister firmly said that she would not allow it. Then I noticed that she looked like she was about to go somewhere. I asked her where she was going so late at night, to which Eve replied that she had some business to do. In the morning, I entered the room. She was asleep, and there was some money on the table. Eve looked tired and slept like a dead woman. I was confused by the whole situation, but I didn't want to think about where she got this money from or where she was last night. But then this repeated. Every evening when I went to bed, Eve dressed up and went somewhere. One time I heard her talking to someone on the phone. She said that she was tired yesterday because there was a lot of clients who had to be served and she had to clean after them. Eve said something like, if her brother knew what she was doing, I would probably stop looking her in the eyes. These words were so painful to hear. In the morning, she was again sleeping like a dead woman. and money lay on the table. At one point, I felt so disgusted and upset at the same time. It hurt me to imagine that my sister, who used to love and respect herself so much, suddenly began to treat herself in this way. I imagined for a second, what if Mom was alive and she found out about what her daughter was doing? And one evening, when she again came home to me before leaving, I screamed at her that she would not go anywhere. My sister said that this wasn't my concern and that we needed the money and she should earn as much as she could. I freaked out, began to shout that she had no right to humiliate herself. "It's none of your business. Just stay home and I'll figure out how to earn money," she shouted back at me. Eve left, slamming the door. I was angry. And the longer I sat, the more I freaked out. Then I could no longer stand it and went to her room. I began to turn everything upside down, smashed her favorite makeup, broke the mirror. It seemed to me that if she was ugly, then no one would choose her. It's better for us to go hungry without money than to earn it this way. And while I was smashing her things, I found some piece of paper with an address. What if she works there? Or maybe she meets clients there. I took it and went there. When I found this place, I was immediately embarrassed. Even by its outside, it was obvious that it was some kind of broth. I sneaked in there while the dumb guards weren't watching. From the very front door, the smell of fumes, alcohol, cigarettes, and other things hit my face. I thought that I was about to see my sister in the role of a stripper or a prostitute, and my heart was beating with fear. Then someone grabbed me by the neck, and I turned around and saw a huge man, one with the guards caught on me. I tried to escape. Then I said that my sister works here. I shouted her name, but he did not listen to me. In the end, Eve came up to me. She talked to him and took my hand. Eve took me to a room in the establishment with some sofas inside. I looked around in horror and then asked, "Is this where you work?" She said, "Yes." And then added that she did not want to tell me, but still everything surfaced. "And anyway, what are you doing here and how did you find me?" she asked. Then some man came in and called Eve, said it was time, and when he saw me, he asked who I was, and in order to get rid of me. I was so furious again. "I won't let you work here. Are you crazy? If her mom saw this, she would have turned over in her grave. How dare you work as a prostitute?" I shouted in front of that man. Eve had a surprised face and then said to me, "Are you dumb? I work here as a waitress and a cleaner, you idiot," she shouted back. "What?" I asked and looked at the guy, and he was like, "Actually, we have a decent establishment here," he said and left. Just imagine how ashamed I felt in front of my sister. How could I think that of her? She sent me home and said that we would talk later. It turned out that she did not want to tell me because she was ashamed of doing this job. Her reputation at school wouldn't allow such information to be disclosed. But she was not going to do anything that I thought she did. Then she said it was all temporary. After all, soon it was going to be her birthday, after which she could get something that our parents left us. Apparently, they were running a small business. As the eldest, she will be able to lead it on her own. But for now, we need to hold out on the float. And that made me I was so happy to have such a sister. And like me, she had so much intelligence. What do you think of this? If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up and write us some comments. Don't forget to subscribe.